So if you're here watching the video today, it's because you want to have one of these bad boys right there in your passport, and you want to have that lovely little entrance and exit stamp. And who better to tell you than a person who has been to Russia and gone through the process, and somebody that actually lives with somebody from Russia. Although for her it was quite easy. She's a dual citizen. She's got her Russian passport to come in, her American passport to go out, and it was very easy for her. I was left alone to try to figure out this whole thing by myself, so I want to try to help everybody else out there. I did find it a little disturbing and concerning that there are a lot of websites that offer services to do this. Some of them want you to send your passport money to Russia. There's other third-party organizations, and please do not go that route. There's only one official way of doing it, and it's actually through the embassy right here in the United States. If you're a Canadian citizen, the process is very similar. You'll just have to do your stuff through the Canadian embassy, and I do believe Canadian citizens need like a healthcare. I can be wrong about that, but I think you need some type of healthcare coverage while you're there. Where American citizens, we don't need any type of healthcare coverage when we travel there. So let's start. Step number one, and this should be kind of a no-brainer, but you're going to need a valid passport. It's going to need to be valid for more than 6 months after you arrive. You're also going to need 2 blank pages in your passport because the visa itself is huge. It takes up the entirety of 1 page, and they want 1 page for stamping your entrance and exit visas in there as well. So I imagine they probably don't want to have a passport all littered up and there's only space for 1 stamp here, 1 there. They require you to have 2 open pages. Step number 2, you're going to need to go to Walgreens, CVS, or someplace that does passport photos, and you're going to need to get a photo of yourself made per the standards, normal passport photos, clear background, nothing obstructing your face, headwear, glasses, things like that. It's very critical that it be in Russian format. It needs to be 2 inches by 2 inches. They have it already set up in their software. I ran into a little bit of a glitch when I went to Walgreens. They kept putting in American-sized passports. I kept telling the guy, no, I don't need an American passport photo. I already have one. I need one for a Russian visa. I need a picture by Russian standards. And he got a manager over there, and they kind of went through the thing, and I saw the listing of countries on their little computer setup. They did find Russia, and it did get it out to 2 inches by 2 inches. So just be wary. Make sure that they set it up for a Russian format, 2 inches by 2 inches, because you have to send that photo in. It goes in. It's very important to be the right size. Next, you have to think about what kind of visa do you want. You can get a single entry visa that's good just for your trip there, a couple of days, couple of weeks, whatever it is. A multiple entry that's good for 6 months, or a 3-year. I highly recommend you do the 3-year. Earlier this year, March 2019, when I went, there's 3 different prices available. So I went with the single entry because my passport actually expires in 2020, so I have to renew mine. So that was, to me, was the best option. It was like $60 to go that route, but now everything's 1 flat fee of $160. So I really highly recommend you do the 3-year. If you're in a situation like me and your passport's going to expire before that, go ahead and renew it. It's just gonna behoove you. It's just so much easier to go ahead and get that 3-year done. And if you do the 3-year, from what I understand, you have to have 3 years left on your passport as well. So make sure you have all that. Like I said, it's really beneficial to you to have that 3 years. Even if you don't plan on going back right away, you never know. Maybe in 2 years or something you change your mind and all that. It's so much easier to go ahead and have that done. So next step is you're going to need a letter of invitation from a hotel group or tour group. What I found is, even though I tried to stay at an American hotel like a Holiday Inn, they wanted to charge me for this, which really isn't a problem, but it was kind of a hassle to get it done. I found a website called Rushable.com, and don't worry, I'm going to mention a lot of websites through here. I will leave links to everything down below. She's got a lot of great information, and she recommended this company here called iVisa. I went onto their website, just typed in the dates that I needed, and within a few seconds I had my letter of invitation to go to Russia, and everything was fine. It worked great. They take PayPal, which was awesome. That way, you have a way to dispute, and really only credible companies would use something like PayPal. You can also use a credit card if you prefer. It was pretty, like I said, pretty instantaneous. and it was like $20 for a single entry. I believe they charge $30 for multiple. And the important thing is these letters are only good for 30 days. So if you get a 3-year visa, say you go in 2019 and now 2020 or whatever year this might be, if you go the following year, you'll have to get another one. If you re-enter after this letter expires, we'll have to get another one. Like I said, it's not a problem. It's pretty instantaneous. As soon as you send the money, your letter of invitation is there. But it's important to have it, or you will not be allowed to enter. And this isn't in any kind of particular order, but the next step you need to do is go to the Russian Embassy website, and like I said, I'll leave a link down below, and you have to do your visa application form. It's really not that hard. It was fairly easy, self-explanatory. You're going to say, you're American or Canadian citizen. You want to go to Russia. You're going to give them the time frame. Tell them that you want tourist. There are other options. I don't know how to go about doing them. You can ask them, but there are like humanitarian and business visas. But me being a travel channel and me doing a tourist visa, that is what we're going to focus on. So you put in your tourism. It's going to ask you if you've been military, if you've been to college, been to schools, your work history, and that. I had one weird little glitch in my application got sent back because my work history was only one line. I think there was like 3 blocks. I've worked for the same company for over 10 years, and I told them that. I was like, you asked for 10 years. This is my 10 years. But I've changed positions within the company, so what I did is I put position 1, position 2, 3, and filled in the 10 years. I seemed to make them happy just as long as all the blocks are happy. I had the same problem with college. They said not to put like a high school or anything in there, but that's what I ended up putting because I've gone to 2 colleges, and there was like a 3rd block, and I'm like, I can't tell you that. So I don't know what the issue was, but that company they no longer work with. It was ILS Logistics, which still shows up, but right now when you go to the embassy website, it shows VFS Global is the recommended person for using. So when you do your packet online, VFS Global is the only authorized or recommended people that work with the embassy direct, and I highly recommend you use who the embassy recommends because they're the ones that have direct ties. So I don't know, maybe there were some issues like what I had and they changed, but they have changed, so maybe it's no longer an issue, but that was just kind of a problem I had. If you're going to do it by mail, they recommend 4 to 5 weeks, and I highly recommend you do that because that's about how long it took me. Plus, you can only apply 90 days prior. So I think next time when I'm going to go, I'm going to try to give it like the full 90 days. I'm going to try just to do it as simple as possible again, see if it gets rejected. But hopefully it'll go smooth. It's a different company now, so hopefully it will work. Next, they take cash, check, or not check, they take cash, credit, and money orders. If you're going to do it by mail, I highly recommend you don't do cash. There's any amount of ways that cash can get lost. Credit cards and money orders are traceable and refundable. So I highly recommend one of those 2 options. But it's $160 for the visa fee. And like I said, that's flat across the board, whether you just want to go in for a week or 3 years. That's why I recommend the 3 years. So $38 service fee. And if you want to do it by mail, it's $85 in addition to that. You had the option to show up in person. You have to go to the embassy website and set up an appointment. And you can go to New York, Washington, D.C., Houston, Texas, San Francisco, California, or Seattle, Washington are the 5 locations that you can actually walk up and do it. I don't know what the turnaround time is. I would think it's pretty instant, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I never did it in person. It's just, to me, more cost effective to go ahead and mail it. I know $85 is a bit of money, but it would cost me more to actually get to any of those locations. So getting to Russia really isn't that hard of a daunting task. Please don't be scared or worried about it. It is very easy to get your visa application just as long as you know the channels to go through. When you're working directly with the embassy and VFS Global, their recommended person as of right now towards November 2019, those are the channels you go through, and there are no problems. Like I said, I used Visa Logistics to do my letter, and that worked out totally fine as well. Like I said, use Rushable. She's got a lot of information as to what to do once you get there. I plan on doing videos in the future about my time in Russia and how to use the transit system, things like that. We'll show you something about, like here, the Troika card that you use for the subway and all the other mass transit things. It's pretty easy. It's a great system. You won't need to worry about a car and getting around. You can get around all over Russia very easily, especially with that card. You can use it for multiple things. So look forward, subscribe, and we'll do more videos on Russia and that. And I also plan on returning in 2020, and we're going to bring you more content. Like I said, I might have said earlier in the video, we plan on traveling full time to bring you a lot more how-to and great content. So please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's going to help us grow the channel so we can expand our travel and get on the road full time a lot sooner. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this keeps you safe and gets you that magical visa to this wonderful country, and you get to experience this great mystical land that, you know, like many people like me have always wanted to go and never thought it'd be possible, but I did it, and I'm so glad I went, and I can't wait to go back. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we will see you on the next one. And also check out my channel for other videos of my time in Russia. We got some great things of Moscow, Krasnodar, and that, and we'll show you some of the areas. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.